how's everybody doing? Well, it's official. Periscope is dead. Yep. Everybody knows it. It's the end of the month and no more, you know, and people are scrambling looking for another place to go, and here I've been on YouTube all these years. Slowly but surely, building up my audience, which is not exactly why I do what I do. Got a bunch of stuff to show you, like 20-some pictures I want to show you about what we were doing recently. I want to explain to you what's going on with me. You know, I went to the store today and they had this Belgian chocolate and it's actually dark blueberries. And this thing was 130 some NT, so let me see. $4, and it's buy one get one free. I couldn't resist that. So I got this. I have my cinnamon rum that I usually have, and my wasabi peanuts. I love these, and I don't have these too often, so I'm gonna have these wasabi peanuts. And anyway, so I know I haven't been around. You know, I've been kind of sick, and something really weird happened. I hurt my arm, and I'm not sure how I did it. I think it might have just been laying in bed holding my device, you know, my phone while I was reading. I like to read before sleep. I've been reading before sleep for years. Everybody says, oh, it's so bad for you. Well, let me tell you what I have read laying in bed at night. I have read every single Arthur Conan Doyle book on Sherlock Holmes. Then I've read the non-canonical, the non-canon books. He supposedly has a son, Ruggles. I've read all the books about Ruggles. Then I read all the books about Mrs. Ruggles. And then I read the, what's his name? Freeman. Anyway, I read all the John Thorndike mystery novels, about 30 of them. Then I read everything by Jules Verne. That's the stuff I remember. And I can't even tell you how many technical manuals, user manuals of all kinds of equipment. I'm a moderator at the Tascam forums for people to use Tascam equipment. And I'm frequently into reading manuals about equipment that I don't know anything about, just to help answer questions. That's what I like to do. So I've read a lot just laying in bed over the years. I got my first actual tablet, 10.5-inch tablet, the Toshiba Thrive. Great tablet, full-size SD card, full-size USB port. It was amazing. It was like this thick. Got that in 2012, I think. Probably when it first came out. Anyway, now I have a Surface Pro, and that's like from the future. Those things are amazing. But holding it up, sometimes I like to use the Surface in portrait mode. Canon fist bump to you. Always a pleasure to have you with this. In portrait mode. My favorite thing, though, and this freaks people out sometimes, is taking notes, handwritten notes. My Surface Pro, I love that. I love going to a lecture, some kind of talk, taking handwritten notes. And people always say, yeah, but you can't do anything with handwritten notes. Well, if you use Microsoft OneNote, you can. Because let me tell you, Microsoft OneNote is an amazing application. And so, with Microsoft OneNote, if you do handwritten notes, there's the lasso tool. You can grab text and actually convert it from text to ink. But even if you don't, those handwritten notes are synced all across all your devices, so even on my phone, they're synchronized. Anyway, I hurt my arm. Now, for those of you who don't use your arms, you don't know how much you use your arms for until you can't use it. On my left arm was like, oh. Now, if that weren't enough, at the beginning of my daughter's winter break, I hurt my left foot jumping rope. See, I got this problem. I look in this mirror and I see this old man and I go, it's not me. I'm 27 years old. You know me well, bro. Absolutely. And Belgian dark blueberry chocolate, which we're going to sample in a minute. Now, Ken did me a real solid, let me tell you. When's the last time you heard somebody say that? Oh, so-and-so did me a solid. Check it out. We'll be right back after this.
Hi everybody, you're watching Late Night with MJ Klein on Taiwan Live TV.
How cool is that? Do you have a bumper from Ken Rod? I do. All right, so I'm going to try to take it easy. And you guys know I've been depressed. But you also know if I look at my face, put on some weight. It's really bizarre. All the foods that make you feel better are very bad for you. Things with sugar, things with flour. Oh. So I decided I'd have a, big bag of potato chips or something like that. And it's a lot of carbohydrates. But I got a bunch of stuff to show you. So as you know, we went camping in a place that has RVs, like trailers, and they're permanently mounted. Well, before I get into that, I want to show you what Betty's doing. Betty LB, no last names, Betty LB, for the sake of anonymity, has been making these masks. And I think they're really cool. And I like the colors. I like what she's doing. Look at that thing, man. Looks like a sky. Clouds, seagulls. Just fantastic. And you know, I've had like mask makers on my show before. And this shows some of the internal details. And I think it's really, excuse me, whoa, wasabi tickling the sinuses there. I think it's really noteworthy that it's sitting on a filter. This is really cool. I like this one. That is a road tripper's mask right there. Man, I'd wear, I know, aren't they? I'd wear that mask. So you know Betty, right? And there's a plain brown one, but in Taiwan, these are what we call 3D masks. See, this is not a 3D mask. This is a 2D mask. It's just a flat paper mask that you can push out because it has pleats on it. But those 3D masks. So there's Betty wearing one of those 3D masks. And I think it looks great. And the bands don't look like they're too tight, you know. And there's another shot. She's wearing another one. And that sky one. I think that's cool. So. Kudos to you, Betty. Fist bump to you. Now, the only thing I got to find out is if she'll make them to order or sell them. Now, you may remember last year, my sister's friend makes masks. She lives in my, she's actually a neighbor of my sister. And she's putting pieces of vacuum cleaner bag to cut out, because that's HEPA material. So that's really cool. Now, let's get into where we went. Now, we went about an hour 15 minutes south, depending on the traffic, you know. It could be an hour and 45 minutes of bad traffic. Elevation wasn't too high, a little over 200 meters. And the nearby town has some really interesting things. Now, this is the view from our little trailer. It's a camping RV, okay? It's a trailer that they have permanently mounted. I'm looking down into the rest of the campground. And those, looks like containers down there, but those are more of those trailers. And right in front of me is strawberries. And that's what it looked like. Nice little swing. Boy, that swing was great. And they actually put clear curtains so you could, you know, roll them up and down and protect yourself against the wind up there. Nice. And another shot of it. Phoenix there on the porch. So it wasn't huge, but it's good enough for Mommy and I. And Phoenix had her own bed. It's cute. Now, going to the nearby town. Let's go this way. I'm going to start from this side. This is the nearby town, and it was crowded. Now my phone is 100% screen. There's no holes in it. It's a pop-up camera. So when I take a picture, it's a super wide screen. That's why you see this up here on top. Just kind of ignore that, if you will. Because I guess, oh no, the only thing I might be able to do is turn the camera off. Okay, I can turn the camera off while I do that. And so now this is a post office, and this is a vintage style post office. Things like this are very popular. This is an old street that they have, and old streets typically in Taiwan are quite popular tourist attractions, and some old streets are very, very nice. Others are just kind of bogus. Now inside we see the old style construction. This is the post office. Phoenix is really into looking for a postcard. She found some nice ones. Now, for those of you who haven't been to Asia, you might not know that stamps are really popular, especially with kids. You go to different places, and they have stamp pads, remember with stamps. So you get a little book, and you go through each stamp, okay, one by one. And they're just cute little things. Just, little mementos of where you've been. And it's nice. Some of them look like, I'm not sure, but some of them look like they might have been the old actual stamps that they use, to mark the envelopes with. So there you go. Bunch of different little stamps. And this thing is really cool. And Phoenix loves this. So she bought the little book there. And it cost about $1, $1.50 for the book. I know, it's a cute little thing. And they have them for the high-speed rail, too. All the high-speed rail stations in Taiwan have stamps at the information kiosk. Now, when the stations first opened, they had them out. And everybody and their brother was getting a stamp. And even me, I had a book that I used to get with the stamps. Since then, they have opened up several other new stations. But if you go to high-speed rail and you go to the information kiosk, you'll have to ask them for the stamps, and they'll bring them out. Now, this is how mail used to be delivered in Taiwan. Bicycle with big fat green panniers on the back and basket on the front. But many people might not know today that the vast majority of mail is delivered in Taiwan by motorcycle. Same kind of deal. Got big, backpacks on the back. Mail service in Taiwan is very efficient. You often may get 2 or even 3 mail deliveries per day, depending on what you got coming. I remember in the States, if I had a package and it just didn't make it there on time, in the morning, I wouldn't get it until the next day. But in Taiwan, the morning mail person can come by. They're usually men. The morning mailman would come by, deliver the mail, but later on, if your package made it to that post office, they would send somebody out in the afternoon to give you that package. The other interesting thing is they have what they call guahao, which we would say is registered mail in English. They send all kinds of things that I would never send. Like, of course, you get a new credit card or an important bill or you want some kind of legal notice. But like my wife will get a catalog or a newsletter from a store. They send it. Registered mail is a pain in the neck. So, when's the last time you got registered mail? Right? But at least the post office brings the registered mail to you. They don't get, hey Sue, how you doing? Fist bump to you. But at least, in Taiwan, the post person doesn't bring you this slip and require you to drive down to the post office to pick it up. They bring it to you. But I'm going to tell you, on any given week, I may have 3 or 4 pieces, different days of registered mail. It's crazy. It's so good to have you with us, Sue. How are things down under? How's everything going? Now this is the main drag, and this is a picture that I took. I just had my selfie stick. I have a Xiaomi selfie stick, and it's got a Bluetooth trigger, and I can just hold it level and just press the button. It's kind of an action-packed shot walking down through here. These old streets are packed full of people. I mean, look at this. But you'll notice every single person in that picture, including me, has a mask. Now I know some states in the U.S. have lifted mask requirements and so forth. Hey, they can do what they want, but me, nope, I'm wearing a mask, man. I'm wearing a mask until this thing is over. You can do what you want. I won't bother you. That's just the way it is. So, we showed these before. This is another shot of the campground itself. And then they had a cute little spot. You'd walk down the hill. And I took it easy because of my foot. And they had these beautiful little, I don't know, they're like little tents, you know, with LEDs and stuff. And a nice place to sit. Taiwan has a lot of really cool places because of the, you know, LEDs. It's a big LED manufacturer. Yes, the world is crazy. Thank goodness it's coming to an end. Huh? I couldn't stand it if it went on for another 50 years. Now, this is the famous road. In my live stream that I did, where I was walking up this little thing with the flashlight, and Phoenix was in front of me, and I'll talk about Phoenix in a second, because, well, I kind of got on Phoenix's case a little bit. I've been having trouble with her. She's a little kid. She's 8 years old. You know, I'm trying to instill in her values and things like politeness and so forth. Thank you. They're just mobile phone photos, man, for my Xiaomi phone. And she's doing things like finishing my sentences or trying to beat me to the punch. And she likes being a little co-host, and she's actually good. I'm going to have her do more things because she's at the age now where she can help me a lot more on my live streams, and she's an interesting person. She's the coolest person that I know. But if you watch my last live stream, I have to tell her a couple of times I'm talking. And in order to save her a little bit of embarrassment, I did address her in Chinese once, and I said, I'm talking. Because she was talking over me, so anyway. But if you guys remember, we were walking up this hill, and you probably heard me say, stop. And I shined the light over to the left. And over to the left is where you saw the big drop-off there. And this is a shot that shows Phoenix standing there, showing just how narrow that road is. And so Phoenix was, now believe it or not, you see where that light post is? Okay, I was walking on the right, and Phoenix was walking to my left, and it was dark. And we're going up this hill, and that's when we got to that light post. That's when I said stop. And what I did was I gently took her by the shoulder, you know, by her upper arm, and I just gently moved her over in front of me so she would be standing directly in front of me. And that's when I shined the light. I remember Hoodoos and a couple others that were viewing that stream said, like, you know, oh my gosh, look at that drop off, and you know, because it looks, you know, it's pretty bad. It's definitely bad enough that you would break something, and you might, and if you hit your head, you would be dead. So, you know, that's about it. Now, the other thing too is that there's two other photos, and I forgot to add them. There was right here. There was one where we crossed over. Okay, that little patch to the right, that's where that road that you just saw comes up. And you got to walk across those tiles. But that whole thing is made out of concrete. And it's kind of sharp. You know, it's hard to see, but it's a sharp wall. There's a a concrete pipe. It pours out into that square little thing. It's kind of dumb, but that's a concrete wall made out of brick. Excuse me, not out of brick. It's a concrete wall made with stones, rounded stones, river stones. And if you are walking down from, say, let me see, trying to figure, not this. I'm trying to get to, okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. If you're walking down from here, hang on. Why can't I get this to do this? You're walking down this way, across here. Well, Phoenix was, this right here is kind of a big jump, see? And I was afraid that she would fall here, okay? And then I was afraid that she would like go all the way down and hit her head on this thing. So that's what I was concerned about. So for those of you who watched that stream, she took a couple of steps. We were coming up on this side, right? We were up here, right? And we're going down that way. If you remember, it was right about here that I said, stop. And she took like 2 more steps. And that's when I said, how many times do I tell you something? Once. And I kind of have a rule that, I don't negotiate things with my daughter. I tell her what needs to be done because her life can depend on it. So anyway, that's what we did. And so I've been really busy in the studio. Although I did take several days off. I've got a number of jobs that I'm doing for some clients. And I'm also, for fun and recreation, I like to mix my own versions of many famous songs. And I want to start a new show on haps. Let me do this because this is my, that's my Instagram for my studio, Phoenix Media Forge, but it's also my other haps. Not that I use haps, but it's my other haps account, and I'm going to be doing some mixing there because I think I'm less likely to get in trouble by the Nazis and the cancel culture and everything else that goes on. Now today, I bought this. This is dark blueberry, and it says 91% less sugar. And according to this, it's 4% sugar, which isn't bad. 4 grams per 100. And this is Belgian. Fist bump to you, Ken. Thank you so much. This is Belgian chocolate. And in Chinese, we would say this is wei tan, which means less sugar. And this is dark blueberry. And this was funny. It was buy one, get one free. And it was like $6, I think it was. No. Yeah, like four and a half to $5. And this is it with a cinnamon rum. All right. That is just off the charts. Wow. There's some kind of granularity going on. I don't know what it is, but I don't think it's the sugar. It seems like a little... It's got dried blueberry. I don't know. There's crystals in here, but we've all had super high sugar stuff with like lots of crystal flavor, you know what I mean, for sugar. That's not it. I don't know what that would be. Maybe it's the fiber, because it says it's high fiber. You guys know me, I don't like sweet stuff. I like salty, savory, sour. I love spicy. Gosh, I love. You know, two things in my vocabulary don't exist: too much garlic and it's too hot. I can count the number of times that I had food that was too hot, like on one hand. And it does happen. I'm not telling you I'm one of those super guys. But, you know, for an average person, I can take a lot of heat. And I love it when they jam it on. I had some dark chocolate with hot peppers once. My friend Sean, you guys have seen him, Mr. Taiwan Sean. Seen him on my streams. He'll come on once in a while. And he had, last time I was at his house, he had this dark chocolate with spicy peppers, and it was the bright red Thai peppers, and boy, oh boy. You wouldn't think the combination would work. It's like the old story, you know. You got peanut butter in my chocolate. You got chocolate in my peanut butter. And that's how Reese's peanut butter cups were made, right? So this is a joke. But I love those things. I've done a peanut butter chicken. Anyway, so my next culinary project, I'm going to make hot oil. I'm going to see if I can spell that. Nope, it's not. It's not letting me. It's not letting me type in Chinese. Never mind. This is what I'm gonna put in it. I have the Thai style pepper flakes that I want to use. There's some beautiful medium chain triglycerides, you know, MCT oil that I'm going to use for the base. Very, very good for health from coconut. I think I'm going to put garlic in it. May put a pinch, not too much, turmeric. That would be something. really interesting. It must be the fiber. There's a granularity I'm chewing in it. I know it's not sugar crystals. It's not unpleasant, I just can't identify it. The blueberry flavor tastes like it's dried. Of course, you know, it's processed. It's not fresh. It would be like a blueberry raisin. Taste a bit aged. Not sweet. There's no honey or anything like that, so I highly recommend that. If you see this stuff, not bad. That's it. Balance. Dark blueberry. Now they had a cranberry, but I'm not a big fan of cranberries, which didn't go over very well because I used to live in Mass. A lot of people in Massachusetts have cranberry bogs, and they don't like to hear people who don't like cranberries. Sorry. Some customers here and there. Yep. All right, we'll be right back after this.
Hi, this is Dave in Osaka, live from Greenland, and you're watching Taiwan Live TV with MJ Klein.
Now, if you are so inclined to go to SoundCloud, just like it sounds, SoundCloud, and look for Phoenix Media Forge Studio, you'll find my studio account where I have all my current releases, and that's where I'm going to be putting my new releases too. But I found something interesting. A release that I put out, I guess the very end of 2019, early 2020, was on KK Box in Asia. Nobody's more surprised to find that than I was. So there you go. And around the world, I'm Nodas, and it's always spelled lowercase, except now, because all the new streaming services have all these rules, and they won't let me use a lowercase, so it has to be uppercase, JK. And then I screenshotted Katie Lang's profile and said, yeah, right. But no matter, if you look for Recording Arts Certificate, you'll find me. And there is a website here. Right there. There's a website there. It looks like things are going to kind of hectic here. There's a good time to sign out. You guys take care. I'll see you midweek. And I'll have some interesting stuff to tell you, because looks like I'm going to meet Todd Rundgren next week. Been a long time coming. He's produced a number of friends of mine, and a lot of people that I know him. I just never met him yet, so I'll let you know how that goes. That should be interesting. So you guys take care, and we'll see you next time on Time Live TV. I'm MJ Klein. Thank you so much for joining. Have a good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And remember, I love you very much. Bye-bye.